Imagine a place for diverse entrepreneurs to grow their business, a sort of mini global market. Brooklyn Park wants to make that happen, and now the city has a place in mind on where to put it. Here's Pafua Yang with more.
Well, the Northwind Plaza Center, which is located on the corner of West Broadway and Brooklyn Boulevard, would be the best space for this project. That's according to the steering committee. The Brooklyn Park Economic Development Authority got the green light to pursue the Experience Fitness space in the building. However, if the acquisition doesn't pan out, the city would still consider two other locations, the CVS on Brooklyn Boulevard and the former Brooklyn Park Library. The EDA says the goal for the project is to create a market for diverse businesses, much like the Midtown Global Market in downtown Minneapolis.
We see a ton of entrepreneurial spirit among our various cultural communities in Brooklyn Park. And there's a lot of people that are trying to start up small businesses. And so this type of inclusive center would create a space for people to come together, access business resources, connect with each other.
City staff says the Northwind Plaza location will provide affordable and accessible space for microbusinesses and entrepreneurs. It's also at a busy intersection where a future light rail line is currently planned. And the city will enter negotiations next month. They'll finalize agreements during July and August, and then construction is scheduled to begin spring of 2022. Reporting in Brooklyn Park, Pafua Yang, CCX News.
A man who fired shots at Brooklyn Park police last year is now accused of shooting at police in Utah. This is James Klein when he was charged with shooting at Brooklyn Park officers in the Walmart parking lot. That incident began with a shoplifting call and police learning the suspect had obtained a large amount of ammunition. The criminal charges say Klein tried to run when officers deployed a taser. That's when Klein shot at police. Officers fired back, injuring the suspect. Fast forward to this week, and Klein is accused of firing shots at Utah authorities. Klein had somehow stolen a sheriff deputy's vehicle during a traffic stop. The suspect later crashed and tried to carjack another driver's vehicle, firing shots at the driver using a rifle from the stolen police vehicle. He then fired at state troopers. Klein tried to escape on foot before he was captured in a river after an hours-long manhunt. In the Brooklyn Park shooting case, Klein was out on bail and he's due back in court this fall. Brooklyn Park's expanding medical corridor along Highway 610 is getting another boost. A groundbreaking celebration took place Thursday for a new surgery center. The Davis Group is working with Allina Health to build the new facility northwest of 610 and Zane Avenue. Company officials say centers like this one are seen as the future of care for less complex surgeries.
We think it's really important that we bring our care closer to the community, and this center here in Brooklyn Park will represent our template for how we will bring surgical care, exceptional, safe, high-quality care closer to the community.
We've got a lot of sort of medical equipment companies along the corridor, so I think it all just sort of ties in here. But I've lived just near here for about 10 years hoping something would come, and now, things are just kind of moving.
The new building will be called 610 Medical, and it should be ready to open in about 10 months. Over in Maple Grove, the City Council has approved a new project to help meet the demand for more senior housing. The plan west of Maple Grove Hospital calls for 169 apartments for people ages 55 and older. This project is not your typical senior housing in that it includes a wide array of amenities, including an outdoor pool, golf simulator, community garden spaces, and pickleball courts. In today's Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley shows us what's new at the Hopkins Center for the Arts.
Hopkins Center for the Arts has a bunch of new exhibitions, and I want to tell you about two of them. One you have time to go see, and one will be gone after this weekend, so best get there sooner than later. First, we'll look at an exhibit in the Redepenning Gallery by Fawzia Khan. This will be up till June 19th, so there's no hurry in getting to see it. Khan got a $10,000 grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board in 2020 to interview women about the invisibility of women's contributions to society.
And then the resulting work are machine embroidered images of those women's eyes on cotton dish towels.
A much more colorful display adorns the opposite walls.
These works here are digital drawings that Fawzia did during the month of July last year. Her goal was to do one for each day of the month.
A mandala is a spiritual and ritual symbol in Asian cultures and holds symbolic and meditative meaning beyond their vibrant appearance. There are 33 of these digitally created mandalas printed up and on display. Moving out into the main gallery, I wanted to mention the Artist Spotlight portion, currently occupied with works from local artist Maureen Cater.
She was a middle school art teacher in Edina for many, many years, now retired and focusing on her work. She works primarily plein air, that is painting outside. And I particularly enjoy this painting of the camper unit in that it's an unusual subject and it really finds some beauty in an object and a situation that others might overlook.
Her work does inspire a simple joy and contentment with the natural world around us. It'll only take you a moment to catch the 9 works by Maureen that are up, so duck in this weekend and make sure not to miss it. For Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Friday, May 21st is National Waitstaff Day, and waitstaff have had a tough year with restaurants restricted because of the pandemic. So, 2 local restaurants are recognizing their staff by matching tips collected on Friday. Rock Elm Tavern in Plymouth and Rock Elm at the Grove in Maple Grove will match all gratuities and share the amount evenly among all hourly employees. One of the operating partners says this is a way to honor their service staff who have taken so many hits and still stuck with them.
There's some construction going on just east of Brooklyn Center High School this spring, and it means a fresh start for the school's tennis teams. There's not much to look at right now, but in about 2 months, Brooklyn Center High School will have 8 new tennis courts on school grounds. It's a project school officials say was desperately needed.
We actually got to the point where we had to kind of shut our courts down, where we just safely couldn't put people on them anymore, and that affected our Phi-Ed curriculum. Obviously, our tennis team has been moved off campus.
Much of the funding for the $680,000 rebuild comes from a Hennepin County Youth Sports Grant. And the project goes beyond high school tennis.
Some of the courts are going to be a sport court surface, and they're going to be multi-purpose. They're going to be able to do tennis, pickleball, I think volleyball, and there's going to be some basketball hoops out here. Our Phi-Ed curriculum will just explode. I mean, so many options out here. Any kind of youth sport, maybe a summer camp.
With practices and matches off-site for the Centaurs girls and boys teams for 3 years now, the new courts on campus should help increase participant numbers in the programs.
I think it will. I think kids will see, like, you know, we're investing in this program now, brand new facility. Like, it makes you want to be a part of that and get kids interested. And the part of it is too, when you take this off campus, transportation becomes an issue. And so that's held some kids back also from participating. So they walk from the building out here across the parking lot and they get to play tennis.
The courts were last redone here in the 1990s, and the new underlying base was much needed too. With the Thielen Foundation grant scheduled to fund new stadium lights this summer, it's a good win for the Centaurs outdoor athletic teams.
All this kind of following with the renovations we just did within the school and doing this and working on new stadium lights. This is all huge for our community. I mean, get our kids and our staff excited about what's happening around here.
Most local schools hold signing ceremonies for athletes who sign letters of intent to play in college. Well, that's changed during the COVID-19 pandemic, but as Jay Wilcox reports, it was somewhat back to normal at Cooper this week.
8 college-bound student athletes at Cooper High School were honored at a ceremony Wednesday. COVID-19 may have delayed this and other similar programs this school year, but the pride, excitement, and persistence in pursuing college dreams showed through. 3 football players, 3 girls basketball players, and 2 girls soccer players were recognized and talked about their college choices.
So one of the main decisions when picking my college, UW Stout, is they're a very good engineering school and they have a 99% job rate after graduation. So that was the main thing that I really thought about on top of playing sports, track and football.
One of the college-bound basketball players, Drea Tribble, was also presented with her Athena Award. For the second straight year, the pandemic meant no Athena Awards banquet for the Minneapolis area winners. It helped make a special day even better for Tribble.
It was amazing. You know, as an athlete, this is the day that you always wait for. So it was a great feeling to finally get up here and be with my classmates. I was very trusting that everything would work out how it's supposed to work out. And of course, I was very fortunate to find this great program that I really fit into. So I'll be majoring in political science on a pre-law track. I hope to then graduate and go off to law school and aspirations of becoming a civil rights lawyer.
They've all had great careers at Cooper, and the future looks bright for these college-bound student athletes. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Thanks, Jay. That's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.